Let's be honest, choosing a CRM as a coach can feel a little like speed dating for software. You swipe through Simply Coach, flirt with Dubsado, maybe get ghosted by Honeybook, and somewhere along the line, someone tells you to try Moxie. But here's the thing, Moxie wasn't built for coaches. It was designed for freelancers. So why is it getting so much traction in the coaching world? And more importantly, does it actually work for us? In today's video, I'm sharing my honest review of Moxie CRM from a coaching business perspective, what it gets right, what it's missing, and the workarounds I've tested behind the scenes. If you're tired of clunky platforms that claim to do it all but leave you duct taping your back end together, then this review is for you. This is where strategy meets simplicity. So let's roll. Hi there, I'm Jackie Appleby, online business manager, business coach, and your guide on this journey towards not just building a successful coaching business, but creating a transformative one. You want to grow your coaching business while leading your best life, and I'm here to share tips, tricks, and strategies to make that dream achievable. With years of experience in the coaching industry, I've helped countless coaches move from feeling completely overwhelmed and chaotic to calm and thriving using my Coach to CEO framework. So if you're ready to transform your business, then you are in the right place, my friend. Now, before we talk about what Moxie can do for coaches, let's talk about what it was actually designed for, because spoiler alert, it wasn't us. Moxie is a project-based CRM built for freelancers and creatives. Think graphic designers, copywriters, web developers. It's built to manage client projects from proposal to payment with as few moving parts as possible. And honestly, that's part of its charm. Moxie offers an all-in-one workspace that covers proposals, contracts, time tracking, invoicing, and client portals, all in one dashboard. The UX is clean, intuitive, and it doesn't try to do everything at once, which is refreshing after some of the clunky coaching-specific platforms out there. The user experience is clean, it's focused, it's not pretending to be everything. But here's the surprise. Unlike a lot of freelance platforms, Moxie does offer proper lead tracking. This is where it quietly steps into territory that most coaching platforms completely miss. Let me show you the opportunities feature, because this is where Moxie really stands out.
So let's take a look at how Moxie actually works with lead capture, first of all. So I'm here on my website, and if I scroll on my contact page, I have my complimentary synergy session discovery call set up. So this is connected from Moxie to my website. And I'm going to come on here and just make like I'm booking a call that will create a lead in my system. So let's take a look at tomorrow. I'm going to take the 2 p.m. appointment and confirm. And now we have this intake form. All of this is designed inside Moxie. So it talks about what it's for, and now we're going to gather some information. And then these questions are all designed inside of Moxie, so you can put whatever you want in this lead capture form to ensure that you're getting the right information from your client. So we have entrepreneurial coaching. How did you hear about us? Maybe it was a client referral. I do this so I can keep track of who I have in my referral circle. Let's do 1 to 3 years. We always want to know how much people are earning, just to give us an idea of where they're at. When it comes to stabilizing and growing your business, what are your current challenges? And that's it. This one's optional. Anything with a red asterisk is required. That's all set up on the form inside of Moxie. So I'm going to hit schedule, and then this is going to hopefully go through. Yeah, there we are. Booking confirmed. And so that has all gone through. And then if I hop into my Moxie system, I can see over here, I'm just in my dashboard, but over here, we now have Drayson has scheduled a complimentary synergy session, and a new opportunity has been created. Now, this is part of the lead management piece that Moxie does so well compared to all of the other CRMs that I've tested outside of big ones like HubSpot and Salesforce. These smaller business management platforms don't have lead generation defined as well as Moxie does. And this is what I love about it. So we now have this opportunity, and we've also got a meeting scheduled. So that's great. So I can hop into the opportunity and get a feel for what's going on with the client. So I can see here that a meeting has been booked and the stage that it's at. This is all the stuff that I've set up on my back end already in Moxie. So here I can add a to-do, and here's where it becomes really good for follow-up. So in here is where I can say follow up with prospect after meeting. And in here, I can put a date to follow up on. It was booked for the 23rd. So let's do one for the 25th. And then I can keep adding to-dos. I can also fill in more information about the person here. There's a note section, so it'll tell you where it came from. You can add additional notes in there. There's files you can add in. There's activity information so you can see what's going on. And then here's where you can also add activity, which is another great thing. So at this point, this is still just an opportunity or a lead. I haven't created a project. I haven't created the client fully in the system. This is just like an opportunity lead general overview information. So in the add button under the activity, I can do all kinds of things. I can send them a form. I can send another meeting link. I can send an agreement. I can send an invoice, and I can set up a project all from right within here.
With Moxie, you don't have to start a project or open a client record just to track a lead. You can log conversations, schedule follow-ups, and even send forms or emails all from that initial touch point. It's a lightweight CRM function, but for a coach juggling discovery calls and follow-ups, it's a game changer. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Lead follow-up is the number one operational gap I see in coaching businesses. Moxie giving you that out of the box, that's a win. But while it's brilliant for the early stage, it's not without its limits once a client says yes. And that's where we're heading next. Let's move into what Moxie does well once someone becomes a client. So you've landed a client. Here's where Moxie continues to surprise, especially if you're looking for low maintenance, do what it says on the tin kind of a system. Once a lead says yes, Moxie handles a lot of the core logistic coaches need. Proposals and contracts built in, scheduling sessions done, invoicing and payments integrated, a clean client portal included. Here's a quick peek at how Moxie handles a coaching engagement from proposal to paid.
Okay, so now that we have seen how the lead information comes into Moxie, let's take a look at how we move them through the pipeline to becoming a fully onboarded coaching client. So I went ahead and set Drayson up as a client. That's just something you can do right from in here. This prospect area was blank before, and it gave me the opportunity to add a new client in there. So I just chose to add a new client and it pulled through the details. So now we're going to go to activity. And we're assuming that we've had the call and Drayson has said, yeah, I want to come on board and do some coaching with you. So now we're going to start that process of onboarding them. So under activity, we're going to go to add and we're going to go to an agreement. And here's where I can send a proposal, I can send a contract, I can send a quote. There's all kinds of stuff you can do and you can do here, and you can do it on the fly, or you can use a template that you may have already set up, which is what I have. So I'm going to go with my Niche Navigator coaching agreement, and it will ask you if you want to create a new proposal. Yes. And here is everything I need for my contract. So then I'm going to add that in and send it along to the client with an email. So once the client has received the contract, and you can see that it's all showing here under the record, so you can keep track of exactly where you're at. What I would usually do in my coaching business is once they've signed the contract, I would then set up the first invoice, depending on what option they've chosen, whether that's a pay in full or whether it's a month-to-month agreement. I would get that invoice set up and out, and then I would start my onboarding process. So again, within Moxie, I have all kinds of emails already set up, ready to go. Let's go into the communicator here and go into the email templates. And you can see that I've got all of these different emails set up. So here is a lot of my onboarding emails. These are all ready to go. And so I would just hop into their record, send those emails. You can also automate a lot of this. If you're pretty confident about your steps, there are workflows inside of Moxie that allows you to automate some of this. I just like mine because it's not a constant influx of clients coming in. I like to take my time and just make sure that I get the client journey really down and intercept any emails that are coming in. So I send mine manually, but I do have that process already laid out.
That full client flow from quote to onboarding is smooth, and it doesn't require you to duct tape together 5 different tools. And for many solo coaches, that's a dream. It's also ideal if your offer is one-to-one and your process is relatively straightforward. You're not trying to run cohorts, group programs, or deep tracking dashboards. You want a solid first impression, admin that doesn't eat your life, tools that don't confuse your client, and in that sweet spot, Moxie absolutely works. Now, if you've been in business a while, you're probably asking, what's the catch? And you're right to ask, because Moxie does have limits, especially when we look at coach-specific tools and long-term scalability. So let's talk about where it doesn't quite stack up and what I've discovered you can do about it. So here's where we need to get real. Moxie is not a coaching CRM. It wasn't built for it, and unless something major changes, it never will be. So you won't find session progress tracking or coaching note templates or reoccurring program automations. You also won't find client milestone dashboards, a resource repository, or group coaching tools. And that's fine if you know that going in. But this is where a lot of coaches get tripped up. They expect Moxie or any CRM to feel like Simply Coach or CoachAccountable. It doesn't. It's not pretending to. If you're used to seeing a dashboard with client progress and session recaps, Moxie's going to feel a bit bare bones. That said, I've been testing a few workarounds. If you're used to seeing a dashboard with client progress and session recaps, Moxie's going to feel a bit bare bones. That said, I've been testing a few workarounds. Moxie's client portal, for instance, plus a task assignment feature can be adapted into a pseudo coaching journey, and you can assign tasks for reflection or homework, share resources and links, and use messaging to create accountability. It's not native and it's not automated, but it does work. Here's how I've set up a client project with tasks as coaching checkpoints.
So this is the project management area of Moxie, and it does look a little bit complicated at first look, because remember, it is designed for freelancers and people that are actually running bigger projects through. So I've already set up the project, 6-month coaching program. Here's the start date. You've got lots of fields in here that you probably don't need to fill out as a coach. But the main thing is this client portal access. You can give full project collaboration, you can give read-only collaboration, or you can give an overview only. So I do full project collaboration, which means that they can access the project from their client portal when they log in. And then you have the option here to show only assigned tasks to the client task visibility, or to show all tasks. So the great thing about this is that if you want to add things to the coaching program for tasks for you to do, maybe as reminders, whether that's following up, whether that's sending a form or a resource, you can add them into the project without the client being able to see them. And then you can go ahead and also add tasks for the clients, such as fill in coaching reflection form, And you can then put that in as a task and assign it to them with a due date, and they will see that in their client portal. So this is how I'm making Moxie work as more of an interactive and collaborative coaching platform, even though it doesn't work like that natively.
The real magic, it comes down to your systems. If your processes are structured properly, Moxie can plug into your LMS or content delivery platform. Yes, it's a bit manual, but it's totally doable. And the team at Moxie, they're constantly shipping new features, but it's always going to stay in that freelancer lane. It's clean, it's functional, it's not pretending to be a coaching specific solution. And that clarity is actually kind of refreshing. So the question becomes, is it the right choice for your business model, or will you outgrow it too fast? So the big question as a coach, should you use Moxie? Like any tool, it depends on your business model, your goals, and how you like to run your back end. The key is not asking, is this the best CRM? But instead asking, does this CRM match how I coach, how I sell, and how I want to grow? Moxie might be right for you if you're primarily doing one-on-one coaching or project-based coaching engagements. It might also be right for you if you want one system that handles everything from lead tracking to payments to client portal access. It'll also work for you if you're looking for a clean user experience without a steep learning curve and you value flexibility over coaching-specific features. If you work solo or with a small team, Moxie does allow OBMs and VAs to be added on a team plan. If budget is a challenge for you, Moxie is incredibly inexpensive considering all of its tools and features. Now, Moxie might not be right for you if you need native tools for group programs, coaching progress tracking, or milestone reporting. It might also not work for you if you want deep specialization in coaching metrics and program delivery. And it won't be a fit if you're looking for a client experience that mimics structured coaching journeys out of the box. But here's the important bit. Moxie isn't just a starter tool. If your systems are well designed and your business model aligns, it can be a long-term solution, one that grows with you. Like any software, you'll need to think strategically. Where are you right now? Where are you trying to go? And does your CRM help you get there or create more admin friction? If your answer is, I don't even know what systems I need, that's precisely where we come in. Choosing a CRM doesn't start with the features list. It starts with clarity. Clarity on what you need, how you work, and where you're taking your business. Now, Moxie can absolutely work for coaches, but it's not going to think like a coach. And that part comes down to your actual coaching systems. If you're stuck in the tech spiral, wondering which system will finally fix your back-end chaos, our Rise Business Audit is designed to cut through that noise. We'll map out your business stages, your delivery flow, and the kind of CRM that's going to support real growth, not just feel shiny on day one. You'll walk away with a clear plan, specific platform recommendations, and your next best step. Hit the link below to book yours and finally get the back-end clarity that you deserve. Whether you choose Moxie or something else, remember this. The system isn't what makes you scalable. The clarity behind it does. I'll see you in the next video.